Hello everybody and welcome to Rogue Adventure. I'm your host Lord Loser 01 and yeah. So this is something I wanted to play. Well, no, I have been playing. This is something I wanted to show you guys. For those of you who enjoy or have seen the game Slay the Spire, this is a game similar to that, and shoot, looks like I don't have my actual save file. Oh well, works for me. So how does this game work? Well, obviously, like Slay the Spire, using cards, and because of the roguelike, you know you're gonna die a lot. So there's a bit of delay. There we go. Whoops. Ah, shoot, there's a lot of delay. Said I can't fix that. Okay, there we go. So hopefully that fixed it. So, with Rogue Adventure, you have, so far there are 8 classes here. The Warrior class. Level 2 will unlock the Wizard class. I can get out of the screen. Level 4 you unlock the Assassin. Level 8 you unlock the Necromancer. 12 you unlock the Paladin. I want to say 16 you unlock the Shaman. Yep. And then the bottom 2 classes are unlocked by completing the war. So you unlock the Ranger by completing 1 run of the Warrior, Assassin, and Paladin. Druid you unlock by completing 1 whole run of the Wizard, Necromancer, and the Shaman. So anyway, how does the game work? I'm getting ahead of myself here, but let's talk about the Warrior first. So with the Warrior card, this is our base skill. So every time we play a combat card, gain 1 shield. We can upgrade that in the shop so that every time we block an enemy attack, we gain 2 strength and 2 resistance until the end of the turn. However, we have to fully block an enemy attack. So I wonder if the little guy's gonna speak. Ah, there you go. Greetings, adventurers! It's a pleasure to meet you. Before starting, I have a few simple rules to explain that will help you in this epic adventure. To complete the mission, you will have to cross 4 dangerous worlds and defeat all the enemies. Are you ready? Sure. This is the map, where you choose your path and which room to visit. Each world has a different map. So you have treasures, merchants, enemies, elites, and then the boss at the very top here. And that's all you need to know. So, generally, I think the map looks more or less the same. What are the settings here? Huh. I guess there's no background music. I thought there would be background music. I guess I'll have to add my own here just so that it's not completely boring. If memory serves... So yeah, it is randomized, but I feel like for the most part, the right side will always be kind of similar, where it will be enemy with an early shop. And yeah, so let's go to the middle path here. Okay, so there is some music. So here's the tutorial. Enemies! Okay, it's time to fight. Let's give those damn monsters what they deserve. But first you need to know some basic fighting rules. You can defeat enemies by playing cards from your hand. There are 2 types of cards. Combat cards, which is represented by the sword, and magic cards, which is represented by the lightning. Magic cards are usually buffs, debuffs, heals, and much more. Let's see. You can click on these icons to see the detail of the card, or just drag a card to read its description. Okay. Playing a card will cost 1 point of mana. When this reaches 0, you must end your turn. After playing a card, this will be replaced with a new card from the deck. When the player tries to draw from an empty deck, the discard pile is shuffled back into the deck. At the end of each turn, the remaining cards in the player's hand are discarded, and the enemies have their turn. Click on an enemy to read its details. You can observe the enemy's intent above them. If an enemy intends on attacking you, gain some shields to block part of the damage. For now, let's see. These notions are enough for you. You will learn much more by fighting. Good luck. I'm sorry if you guys can't read that. I'm assuming that this will be very, very small. Speaking of small, give me a second. I need to take a look. Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to see if I can't shrink my capture screen because the game is meant to be played on a mobile phone, so it's very compact. So I'm trying to see if by compressing the screen, maybe this will be bigger, but I feel like the black spaces that you saw earlier on the sides will just always be there. So anyway, as mentioned before, every time we play a combat card, we gain 1 shield. So obviously the warrior, as with any class or any game, is usually very defensive. So your basic attacks, these guys here, will always do 6 damage. The shields here will always gain you 4 shield. And then the mage here deals 3 damage and applies 3 weak. And weak, I believe it's 1/3 of the enemy's attack goes down. So instead of 4, this will deal 3. So it's better to block here. So first, let's just get some damage and block as much as we can. Now, this is the first floor, so the first enemy you will fight, literally the first enemy you will fight, will either be these bugs or wood nymphs or wood spirits. So fairly easy. Ah, dang it. No, throw those away. So yeah, shields only last 1 turn, after which they go away. So at the start of each turn, you lose all the shields you had previously. So I should be able to kill this guy. There we go. Okay, and let's just fully block here just to save health. Alright. Okay, yeah, 18 is the maximum damage we can do as the warrior. Alright, I guess I should explain the bottom half here. So here's our mana counter. It is 3. So unlike Slay the Spire, the good thing and the bad thing is that every card costs 1 mana. The bad thing is nothing will ever cost less than 1 mana, but nothing will ever cost more than 1 mana. If you guys have seen Slay the Spire, you know that the numbers are very different. The numbers on cards can vary. But this one is very simplistic in that everything's just 1. So yeah, when we defeat the enemies, we will usually get around, I think, 15 coins or so. Maybe 12 sometimes. But yeah. And then after every fight, we get to pick some cards. So let's see. So when you're playing this game, you want to pick your tribe. And be very careful on who you kind of choose. So right now, because we're just starting, we only have access to the robot class, the beastmen class, and the neutral class. So let's see. The robot is not gonna... It's not bad, but I don't know if I want to gamble on the robot class. What this card does is apply 2 burn for each robot card in your deck. This is very good late game if you're building towards robots. The center fighter beastman class deal 2 damage to the target and 6 damage to all other enemies. This is good for AoE. And then yeah, I'm using a mouse, so it's a little hard to drag here. Forgotten Priestess. Remove all non-permanent debuffs from yourself. Apply to weak to all enemies. So this could be very useful, but yeah, because we're the warrior class, I want to focus on combat cards. It's a tough choice between these two, really. Alright, and the other option is you can skip grabbing a card altogether and you'll get 1 gem. Gems are used to get extra skills. You need to visit a shop for that. I'm going to go with the Beastmen because if I have access to other Beastmen or to a specific Beastman that I'm hoping to get, then this card will be very useful. Sorry for the banter there. Okay, Forest Lions. Not good. Lower your strength a bit. Do that, and yeah, we'll just focus on beating the crap out of you. Okay. Is there anything else I need to say here? Read your cards carefully, I guess, so that you know exactly what every card does. Because with that Centaur Fighter, sometimes you forget that the center or your main target only gets hit by 2 damage, while everything else gets hit by 6. So just be very wary of what cards you get. Because the Centaur Fighter, very bad against single enemies, but in large groups, it can help. However, yeah, it is a very, very weak card. Let's do that. Yeah, I think most of the enemies on the first floor here, they will never get any stronger, attack-wise. So, like, the lions will always just do no more than 6 damage, no matter how long you take to kill them, I think. Oh no, we also have access to the fairy class. I don't know why you would want this one though. It's not very good. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand. The fact that this does not return mana, this is a very bad card. Sapphire Guard. Gain 4 shield, gain 1 mana, gain overcharge until the end of the turn. What overcharge does is it means you can no longer gain mana. So basically this just says, this is a cycle card. Gain 4 shield, and yeah, that's it. So cycle through. The Young Witch. If the target has weak, you gain 3 mana. Otherwise, apply 2 weak to all enemies. Gain overcharge till the end of the turn, and exile. What exile does is, this card goes to your discard pile, or not just to the exile pile, and this will not be in your deck for the remainder of combat. You get it in the next combat, but for the rest of the turn, you will not. So, the 3 mana is kind of nice. And it kind of synergizes with what we have. Could be worth it, but I'm gonna grab a gem. One of the issues that... or not really issues, but originally when I played it about a week ago, right now this is November 24th, 2019. When I played it last week, you only had 8 cards. Or even just, I think you actually only had 6 starting cards. You had 3 attack cards, 3 defense cards, and you had the mage. So, having a small deck is very, very useful. Unfortunately, this is where you really need to figure out what cards you want in your deck. Let's see, we could go for a treasure, which can be bronze, silver, gold, or a platinum chest. Bronze gives you somewhere between 1 or 2 gems and about somewhere between 25 and 30 gold. Silver chest gives you 2 to 3 gems with, I think, the same amount of gold. Somewhere between 25 and 35. Gold chest gives you 4 to 5 gems, I want to say. I haven't hit that many chests, really. I usually avoid them because I want the cards. And then they will give you somewhere between like 40 to 50 gold, something around there. And then platinum chest gives you a random skill, which can basically just be... I think it really just should have been called relics, but I guess I didn't want to seem like they're ripping off Slay the Spire too much. So they just called them skills. Anyways, though, that's enough bantering there. Wood Sprites, the easiest of the enemies. So 1, 2, and he's dead. Or, sorry, Forest Sprites. Yeah. Here. Yeah. Do that, and we're fully blocked. You can only do this as the warrior, though. Do not attempt to hit with any other class. And yeah. Victory! Desert Priestess. Remove the shield of a target, apply 3 weak. Ant Warrior! This is a good card. Deal 7 damage, gain 4 shields. This is basically the best combat card from the Beastman early game. Because you deal damage, you gain shields. It's really good. Knight of the Sigil. Deal 15 damage, gain 1 mana. Can only be played if there are no cards in your draw pile or in your discard pile. This is a lot of damage, but because we're not a small deck, this is very hard to do, and honestly, this is only good early game, not that great late game, especially because of the, what's the word? Not consequence, the, I don't know, I don't remember the word. It'll come to me. But we'll pick up the Ant Warrior, which, I don't know if it really looks like an ant, it looks like a dog. Okay, and we're finding an elite, which is the Emerald Wyvern. Emerald Wyvern, that you see a little green symbol on there. Damage from poison will heal this creature instead of hurting it. So, yeah. Oh, also we have a new thing. Before we saw a clock, that just means the enemy's doing nothing. We saw attack, we saw shields. This little circle thing means they're going to apply a negative effect. Now, the Wyvern will always just do, or throw the effect of frailty, which means our the defense we gain, or the shields we gain, is cut in half. So that's what the dragon does, so we will just lower that a bit. Ah, there goes my ant, man, dang it. So yeah, we are now frail. So it's not that bad as the warrior because we will always get at least 1. So here we can block for an extra for 3 instead of just 2, which is really nice. And we can't fully block. So how much do I value the extra shields? I prefer the damage. So we'll just do that. Yeah, so now we just take 3 damage. The first time we got hurt. Yeah, usually the Wyvern does about 11 damage, but because of weekend, we lowered him to 8. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. So fully blocked there with the Ant Warrior. Yeah, let's just put that back on. Yeah. Again, you guys might not be able to see, but I have to check the recording. There's a little 5 behind by the weakness stat. That just means the dragon has 5 turns of weakness. Okay, I'll just take the 1 damage here. And god dang it. Well, this thing does the most damage. Because Centaur only does 2. Okay, and we can kill him right about here. Okay, when you defeat an elite, you get a bit more money, but you also get gems. Usually about 2. Actually, sometimes you get 1. Oh, wow. Okay, we have the Vampire Lord. Deal 7 damage, heal 4, unblock damage dealt, exile. Health is very hard to come by in this game. The Elf Warrior. Deal 3 damage. Quest. Kill 3 enemies with this card to upgrade. So, this is where it separates itself from Slay the Spire. You, instead of upgrading cards, you just have quest cards. So, the Elf Warrior will, once you kill 3 enemies, is upgrading to a deal 9 damage card. And the quest will be, I think, kill 5 enemies, and then it will upgrade again. to its final form where it does 27 damage. Sorry about that. And then we have the Young Fire. Deal 3 damage for each combat card in your hand. This can only do up to, I want to say 9? I don't think it includes itself. So, alright, I guess I better talk about the borders. These brown borders here are common cards. You'll see a silver one that's rare, and guessing you can call the golden ones here legendary. So the Vampire Lord is a very good card, because one of the few ways you can heal in this game. So this is a tough one. We're being elite. We're going to go towards. This one's really hard to choose because we already passed by a couple of good, really weak units that this card could have upgraded itself on. So, like, the fact that it only deals 3 damage here and to kill 3 enemies. This is actually really difficult since we passed by a couple of the weaker enemies. I don't know who's left that the Elf Warrior could take advantage of. Do I want the Vampire Lord? Because I'm going to be taking a bit more damage. The one time. This is better for the long term, so we'll grab the Vampire Lord.